Chapter 1 Introduction to the Prison. As the heavy metal door creaks open, the chilling sound of locks echo through the bleak corridors of Harlow Maximum Security Prison. An unyielding world of concrete, steel, and somber shadows unfolds, a realm where lives are often reduced to mere numbers and stories are stifled. Ambient sounds of distant conversations and the steady hum of fluorescent lights create an atmosphere thick with tension. Here, surrounded by fortified walls, the notion of redemption seems elusive, yet flickers beneath the surface. This documentary audiobook invites listeners to delve into an extraordinary tapestry of human experience, interwoven through the diary entries of 4 inmates. Together, their narratives paint a portrait of resilience and transformation, compelling us to reconsider the meaning of justice and rehabilitation. In this somber environment, we embark on a journey of hope, urging us to see beyond the bars and recognize the humanity in every individual. Chapter 2 Carlos, the Rise and Fall. In the heart of the maximum security prison, Carlos Ramirez reflects on a past steeped in chaos and violence. His life as a gang leader, filled with adrenaline and camaraderie, was intoxicating but ultimately destructive. In his first diary entry, he recalls vivid memories of his childhood, streets alive with laughter, overshadowed by the sirens of police and the heartbreak of lost friends. The echoes of gunfire serve as a painful backdrop to his early choices, decisions that led him down this dark path. As the ambient sounds of the chaotic street life filter in, Carlos writes about the moment he realized the true cost of his lifestyle. Regret seeps into every word, compelling him to seek forgiveness from those he has wronged, especially his family. He hopes that by documenting his journey, he might help others evade the same fate. Chapter 3 Lessons Learned. As Carlos sits in his cell, the haunting echoes of prison life contrast starkly with his memories of the streets. His second diary entry reveals a profound sense of loss. He reflects on the lives he could have saved had he chosen a different path. The rhythmic clink of metal bars punctuates his thoughts, reminding him of the friends he's buried and the family torn apart by his gang affiliations. The hardest lesson I've learned is that loyalty can blind you, he writes, revealing the pain of regret that engulfs him. Each word is filled with yearning for forgiveness from his loved ones. Amidst the dreary prison sounds, glimpses of laughter from the streets filter through his mind, reminding him of happier times. This chapter encapsulates the emotional turmoil of a man grappling with the consequences of his choices, as he strives for redemption and the hope of reconciliation with those he has hurt. Chapter 4 A Mother's Heart. Maya Thompson's world is cloaked in uncertainty, her diary entries resonating with the echoes of a mother's love. As she reflects on her situation, the soft lullabies of her past intertwine with the harsh reality of prison life. In her first entry, she shares the poignant fear of losing her children, recounting moments of laughter and warmth that now feel like distant dreams. Each word is imbued with emotion as she writes about her struggles to remain connected with them, the pain of separation gnawing at her heart. The ambient sounds of a child's laughter drift through her memories, juxtaposed with the clinking of metal bars, creating a powerful contrast. Her vulnerability shines through as she expresses her yearning to break free from the cycle of addiction and return to her children as a beacon of hope. In a world divided by walls, her love remains unyielding, an enduring light even in darkness. Chapter 5 Struggles and Connections. In her second diary entry, Maya Thompson pours her heart onto the page, grappling with the weight of her choices and the distance that separates her from her children. Each day, she fights the nagging despair that threatens to consume her, wrestling with the guilt of her past mistakes. In the hushed confines of her cell, Maya envisions her kids' laughter, a distant echo that both comforts and haunts her. She writes about their birthdays missed, the school recitals she could not attend, and the simple moments she longs to reclaim. While battling addiction, she reflects on her determination to break the cycle of pain. Maya finds solace in the prison's support programs, writing about her small victories, her nightly calls to her children, and the letters they exchange. Soft lullabies and faint sounds of a child's laughter flow in the background, weaving memories of a mother's love with her relentless hope for a brighter future. Chapter 6 Hope and Transformation. As Maya dives deeper into her journey, she begins to embrace the potential for change. Surrounded by the sterile walls of the prison, her third diary entry reflects a newfound sense of purpose. "In this place, I've discovered the strength I never knew I had," she writes, detailing her decision to enroll in educational programs aimed at breaking the cycle of addiction. The echo of laughter from her children fuels her determination, as she pens heartfelt letters during her classes. Ambient sounds of pencils scratching against paper mingle with the soft rustle of textbooks, creating a symphony of hope. "Education has become my lifeline," Maya notes, as the uplifting melodies underscore her transformation. With each lesson learned, she envisions a brighter future, not just for herself, but for her children. The chapter closes with Maya's resolute assertion, "I refuse to let my past define my future." Chapter 7. Eli, the Artist's Soul. As the sound of a pencil scratching against paper fills the air, we are introduced to Eli Johnson, a man whose spirit remains unbroken despite the stark walls surrounding him. In his first diary entry, Eli reflects on the healing power of art, using it as a refuge from the harsh realities of prison life. He describes how each stroke of his pen allows him to escape and confront the pain of his past, often depicting scenes from both his dreams and nightmares. The ambient sounds of distant voices and clattering metal bars contrast with his inner world, illustrating the struggle between confinement and creativity. Eli writes about the therapeutic nature of expressing his feelings through drawings and poetry, revealing a flicker of hope in his search for identity and meaning. Through his art, Eli begins to redefine freedom, not as a physical state, but as a journey within himself where vulnerability can lead to strength. Chapter 8. Poetry of Pain. Eli's creative soul thrives in the confines of his prison cell, where he transforms his anguish into art. His second diary entry reveals a raw reflection on freedom and confinement, exploring the paradox of being physically trapped yet free in imagination. As Eli writes, the sounds of his pencil gliding over paper accompany his thoughts, blending with melancholic melodies that seep into the walls around him. He reminisces about the vibrant streets he left behind while contemplating the dreams he still harbors. In the midst of his struggles, Eli pens poignant verses that capture the essence of his past mistakes and the burdens they carry. "Freedom isn't a place," he writes, "but a state of being." The chapter's theme resonates deeply, illustrating how art can serve as a lifeline, a means of self-discovery, and a path towards redemption. Eli's journey through pain becomes a quest to reclaim his identity, one stroke at a time. Chapter 9. Self-Discovery and Aspiration. As Eli Johnson put pen to paper, his thoughts flowed like the ink from his sketchpad, raw and honest. "In these walls, I've learned that freedom isn't just a physical state, it's a mindset." His third diary entry unfolds with reflections on the transformative power of creativity. Each stroke of his pencil pulls him further from the shadows of his past, illuminating the path toward a future he once believed was out of reach. "Art has become my sanctuary," he writes, detailing how the whispers of reality fade as he loses himself in vibrant colors and intricate lines. Eli envisions a life beyond bars, his aspirations soaring higher than the concrete walls surrounding him. The ambient sounds of a prison yard fade into soft, uplifting music, mirroring his hopeful spirit. "I want to inspire others to show that we can rise above," he concludes, leaving listeners with a heart full of dreams and the belief that change is possible, even from within confinement. Chapter 10. G. The Fight for Justice. The chapter opens with haunting ambient sounds that evoke tension, reflecting the struggle within G's heart as he faces the daily realities of his wrongful conviction. G, a former firefighter, introduces himself and shares the night he was arrested, a moment steeped in confusion and despair. His first diary entry reveals an overwhelming sense of injustice and a desire to reclaim his life. He writes about the cold metal bars that confine him, but also the flicker of hope that refuses to be extinguished. Through G's words, listeners can feel his anguish as he describes the emotional toll of being separated from his family and the weight of a conviction that he battles against relentlessly. As G recounts his resolve to fight for freedom, the tension-filled sounds enhance the spirit of defiance. Each word is a step toward reclaiming his narrative, urging listeners to empathize with his plight in a flawed justice system. Chapter 11. The System's Failures. As Gerald G. Miller sits in his cell, the weight of his wrongful conviction bears down on him like an unyielding storm. His first diary entry captures the deep frustration that has become his constant companion, a feeling of being trapped not just by physical bars, but by a flawed justice system that fails to recognize his innocence. The ambient sounds of iron doors slamming and muffled voices echo through the hallways, amplifying his isolation. G reflects on the moment he was arrested, the disbelief etched on his face as he was wrongfully accused. Each day stretches into a relentless cycle of doubt, but in the quiet moments he pens his thoughts, revealing the emotional toll of being trapped within a system designed to protect, but often entraps the innocent. His words become a call to awareness, illuminating the flaws that continue to haunt countless lives behind bars, leaving a residual sense of determination amid despair. Chapter 12. A Call for Justice. In the dim light of his cell, G reflected on the weight of his wrongful conviction, the memories of a life taken from him haunting his thoughts. His first diary entry began with a raw expression of despair. Each day feels like an eternity, trapped in a world that has forgotten my truth. G grappled with the emotional toll of being labeled a criminal, despite knowing his innocence. The ambient sounds of steel bars scraping against concrete echoed his frustration, each clink amplifying his resolve. He detailed his meticulous preparation to uncover the truth, reviewing court documents, reaching out to advocates for the wrongfully convicted, and rallying support from fellow inmates. As he wrote, a sense of clarity emerged. Hope flickered amidst the chaos. "I refuse to remain silent," he penned with determination. This was not just a call for justice, it was a declaration of his fight to reclaim his life and narrative, resonating with the essence of resilience. Chapter 13. Shared Experiences. As the days blur within the confines of their existence, Carlos, Maya, Eli, and G find solace in each other's company. In the dim light of the communal space, they gather for a rare moment where vulnerability reigns. Each inmate shares reflections on their journeys, their voices intertwining like a fragile thread of hope. Carlos speaks of the weight of his past, finding unexpected support in Maya's fierce love for her children. She recounts her struggles, but in their shared laughter, the distance of despair fades. Eli shares a poignant poem that encapsulates the essence of their confinement, reminding them that art can liberate the soul even in darkness. G, absorbing their stories, expresses gratitude for the bond they've formed, the strength they draw from one another's resilience, igniting a flicker of hope. As ambient sounds of distant conversations and footsteps echo, it becomes clear, within these walls, connection and grace may flourish, illuminating the path toward redemption.